Hey everybody, welcome back to another fantastic episode of Ready to Die Fighting. I'm Chris, and we are working on the new to me bike, my new little project bike. So far I have cut down the seat post, I've taken off the handlebars, and I am getting ready to swap out the handlebar stem here. So the part that I'm replacing with I got used from the local bike shop, and it had a little rust on it and some grime and dirt, and so I just put it in this little bin with some WD-40 to try to just clean it up a little bit. So while I'm working on this part, I'm just letting that sit there. So I'll clean that off when we're done and ready to put it on. And so for right now, as I explained in the previous video, this specific type of, I don't know, head post, I forget, cap or whatever, this is what's keeping the front end of the bike together. So all of this, there's a rod or whatever that slides up into here, and this is what's keeping it all connected to the frame. So I took it off the bike stand so that we can have gravity work with us to keep this all together as I'm taking it apart. So let me grab an Allen key that might be the right size. First try, yes. Lefty loosey. And if you notice there, that did not take, I hadn't loosened this. You're not using a whole lot of torque here. It's just a little bit. It's just tight enough to keep it together. Because if it's too tight, you'll have resistance here. And actually, I'm not going to tighten. I don't want to damage anything. I was going to just show you. But if you have it too tight, the handlebars and your tire is not going to move freely. So you're actually supposed to use a torque wrench on things like this, especially these on the side here. But I don't have one. So I'm just going to, I'm not that strong. I mean, I am, but my thumbs are very weak. So I usually don't have a problem with over-tightening things. If anything, it's the other way around. And so, and if you notice here, this is stylistically, they for some reason made it this funky oval shape, but, and I'm going to hold on to that. If you look in here, it's round. That's just decorative. Oh, you know what? I probably should have taken the side ends off first, but whatever. It's fine. It'll work. And oh man, that's on tighter than I expected. Alright, so that's loosened up. And this should just come off. And there we go. It looks like it took a spacer with it. I'll put that back on for now anyways. Don't know if it'll stay. So this is what I was working with before. Look at the length there. You know, that's, I'm not sure how many inches, but my hand's not huge, but that's just way too long for me. But I'm going to keep this because maybe, I don't know, somebody else will need it. Or a different bike might need it, or who knows, I might grow. So let's just remove these. And I usually kind of like to wipe things off and put new grease on. So I'm just gonna, when I see it, wipe that, give it a little wipey wipe. I'm almost positive I'm not gonna need this many spacers. Just because the new one is significantly taller and it's angled upward. If you watch the previous video, I showed that. just wipe it down here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. In case you didn't see it or in case you forgot. I'm just going to wipe all that WD-40 out. I don't feel a need to thoroughly scrub this with soapy water or anything. I don't think that's necessary. Just wanted to clean it. So if you look here, so this one is taller. The part where it sits is taller, but it also is angled upward compared to that one. So we're much shorter. Try to put it like that. So you see the difference in the angle there? So it's much shorter this way, but it's also angling upward. So this is definitely going to change the feel of this bike significantly. So I'm probably going to put one spacer there. And that's probably it. Like, that's probably good. You want to have a little bit of a gap here. Not a huge gap. According to Park Tools, you want to have like maybe 3 millimeters. That's what they recommend. I'm not measuring that, but that was a small gap. It looked perfect to me. And so I think that particular spacer is just right. There we go. All right, let me do a little bit more wiping. Make sure it's clean. Boom, boom. All right. Now I don't really know why you need grease on the spacers. That seems a little bit odd to me, but they had it there. I don't remember seeing grease on the other bikes that I've taken apart here, but since there was grease there, I'm gonna put just a tiny little bit on. That seems odd, but they did it, so okay, I guess. I'll just get a tiny little bit here and yeah, put that on there. I guess. Seems odd, but all right, if you say so. All right, now make sure I got that right side up. Boom, boom, boom. Now, grab some screws. So, wipe them off a little bit. Now, I always put grease on screws for sure. You could also do thread locker if you want. I don't have any, but I've always just used grease. Let me make sure these are the same length. Yes, they are. I think they were all the same length. They all look the same to me. Now, when tightening stuff like this in general, you want to kind of do a little bit on each side at a time. Some grease on there. And a little bit on this one. That one has kind of a lot. Actually, they both have kind of a lot. It's fine. And I'll just hand tighten that for now. There we go. Now, other screws really quickly. And we can put the handlebars on. So this is the part that I kind of have to figure out a little bit. So the handlebars, they bend backwards, but they also come up. There's kind of some complex angling here. So it goes a little bit downward this way, and this way I can feel that it goes a little bit up. So I don't have to get the exact angle just yet, but I definitely want them to be this orientation, not this one. That feels very wrong. So right about there. And so there's markings here as well, and you should have some markings there, and this actually even has numbers. And this is going to help you center so that it's centered this way, but it's also going to help you get your angle this way correctly. So for right now, I'm just going to make sure I've got them right side up, which is this way, not that way. I mean, and that's probably a matter of preference, but this feels better. And then I'll worry about the exact angle in a minute. Uh-oh. Drop the screw. And I'm really tempted to spray paint this pink. For the accents on this bike, I'm going pink. Originally I thought I would do orange, because orange and blue does look really nice, but pink really pops with blue. And I like doing contrasting colors like that. And so the logo goes that way. Let's put this on here, boom, that way. I'll worry about proper angle in a little bit later. Doesn't have to be exactly perfect. All right. Now with this, you definitely want to, oh, whoops, let me get some grease on here. You definitely want to put these on in kind of like a crisscross pattern. Let's see if I can do this. So you don't want to go, let me see. You don't want to put both the top ones on first or both the bottom ones on first or whatever. You want to go making like an X. So I'm putting this bottom right and then the top left. At this point, I don't know that it matters that much, but definitely when you're tightening it, it's going to matter. Wrong one. Wrong one again. And I'm just getting that just tight enough that it's not going to fall apart. All right. Make sure I have this the right way. Is that the right way? I think it's the right way. Yeah. Let me grab some more screws. I dropped one over here. let's tighten this just a little bit. Just a tiny little bit. All right. Now I'm going to try to get it into centered. And kind of a nice, at least starting angle. And I'm probably going to have to adjust it 100 times, but there we go. Let's say right there. I'm using those small lines to try to make sure I'm roughly centered. I almost didn't follow my own advice. Dang it! Wow. And I should be doing this with a torque wrench. It does say max 5.2 Newton meters. However, I don't have a torque wrench. So I'm going to tighten just enough. Actually, I went from, where did I start? Here. And that's barely anything. But I kind of wanted to. That's not too bad. Okay. So now I'm going to try to line this up fairly straight to the handlebars. I mean to the wheel. As much as I can anyways. Oh, I just realized something. I don't have a proper cap. I've got this weird oval-shaped cap. Duh! How can I tighten this down? It didn't come with a cap. That... I gotta go back to the bike shop and get a cap for this thing. Darn. Tartar sauce! But this is the basic idea of what you do. So, yeah, tighten these up a little bit here so it's nice and even. You want to put this screw back on there with some sort of cap. Where's that oval-shaped one? Yeah. So, and this would be essentially done. I'm going to have to make a lot of adjustments to make sure I have this centered and everything lined up just the way I want. But that's basically it. So I'm going to go back to the bike shop. What can you do? So hopefully this video was at least mildly entertaining and helpful to you. Let me know if you have any questions, suggestions on something that I'm maybe doing wrong or a better way I can do it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Like and subscribe.